Now, one of the most difficult situations for many Ghanaians has been a place to lay their heads, be it rental or ownership of a property. Rent is so expensive and landlords also charge exorbitant fees for their property, leaving many in financial problems after paying their rent. It's even worse when you try to own a house. High cost of building materials, land, and in some cases attacks by land guards have kept homeowners a mere dream home ownership a mere dream for many. Now, those who can't afford end up on the streets. As we build up to Habitat Fair, which takes place next month, we put the spotlight on this issue and speak to experts in the industry. First, though, here is some Ghanaians expressing their frustration at what the situation is.
Many Ghanaians dream of owning their own homes, but this does not come easily.
Normally, it depends. You see, when you have a good job, you are getting better pay or good pay. Renting might not be difficult for you at all. But whereby hustler like some of us is difficult.
Oh, sometimes it's very hard because by the close of the year, I can say maybe our work, we are not getting the work very easy for it to assist us to, pay our rent.
Ghana's housing deficit is estimated to hit 5.7 million by the end of 2020. Those who manage to raise some funds to find a place to lay their heads are confronted with high rent and property owners demanding long tenure fees, contrary to law. It remains an issue of concern to many.
To build a house, the land is the problem. If you get the land, the remaining is a process. You go in small, but you can't get going to build a house unless you plan it and you get the money small. But it's not easy.
The issue that I have is about the lands between the landowners and lands commission and the buyers. Yeah, that is where sometimes because of this crash of the langars and those things. Then if you take it from that angle, it's very, very worried, and that's where I don't think things are going well in this particular town in Greater Accra, because you hear it from the very and minor angles.
Not once, not twice, it has been an issue that it has been bothering us, and it's not peculiar to me alone.
And you do know that the issue of owning a land, renting is a big deal for all of us. Let's have a conversation on this. Like I said, this is towards our Habitat Fair very soon. But Daniel Ohene-Edu is manager, Planned City Extension Project. Planned City Extension Project is one of the people who will be at our Habitat Fair. Let's talk to manager Daniel Ohene-Edu. Hello, sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank you too.
So based
How
on
are you doing?
Right, I'm blessed. Based on your experience from your work, what's making living in Ghana's urban centers such an expensive venture, especially when it comes to renting?
Yeah, as you rightly gave, in your introductory remarks, the issue about land, is key. Then the ability to pay, that is, we are talking about financing. But you realize that over the years, there's been some kind of efforts by governments from the year 2000, but it's still a challenge. So, I believe that this is an area we need to look at, the financing bit and then the issue of land.
Okay. Let's wrap up this conversation. Unfortunately, that's all time will allow us for today. We'll be having more of this conversation as we go along. But what can people do to secure their own homes? Is there a cheaper available option?
In fact, the Planned City Extension Project, I believe, offers a very credible alternative in solving these problems. Because we're also looking at it from the planning perspective, and which is why we have come out with the rent to own option, rent to own. So one registers and begins to make some monthly rental payments. Within 2 years or so, your house is delivered to you. You live in there until you finish paying. It's flexible and it's interactive. So we are looking at this approach or model, to provide housing irrespective of your income background.
Okay.
I mean, that's why it's starting from as low as 699 Ghana cedis. We have the low income bracket, we have the middle income bracket. So we are working towards, achieving this.
That sounds really interesting, and I really wish that we had a lot of time for today, but it's not bad. We can revisit this conversation and look at how people can get onto this program. Of course, you'll be at the Habitat Fair, so we'll get people to also find out more about it. But this is a conversation I'd want to personally have a lot more to talk about and to have our viewers join us. Thank you so much. Daniel Ohene Edu, he is the manager for Plan City Extension Projects. He says what they intend to do is to do the rent to own. You rent, you pay in bits, and next thing you know, it's yours.